Have you ever set personal goals only to see them fade away as life gets busy? What if there was a way to create goals that endured? Goals rooted not just in personal achievement, but in something far greater. Stay tuned as we unlock the secret to setting God centered goals that can guide your life towards true purpose and fulfillment. Hello, and welcome back to the My Success Coach podcast. I'm your host, Brian Robinson. Today, we're going to be diving into a topic that's close to my heart and I believe crucial for anyone looking to not just achieve success, but to live in a life of purpose and meaning. Have you ever considered the difference between a goal and a God-centered goal? Or why, despite our best intentions, our resolutions often fall by the wayside? Well, let's explore how aligning our aspirations with God's plan can not only transform our approach to goal setting, but to our lives as a whole. C.S. Lewis once said, "Aim at heaven and you will get earth thrown in. Aim at earth and you'll get neither." This powerful reminder, in my opinion, underlines the essence of our discussion today. When our goals are centered around God's will, we're not just aiming for temporary achievements. We're aligning ourselves with external values and purpose. So in this episode, we're going to dive into the importance of setting God-centered goals and how it can lead to unparalleled personal and professional growth. We'll explore what Scripture has to say about goal setting. We're going to explore the significance of aligning our plans with God's will and practical steps to implement this approach in our lives. So let's discuss understanding God's will for your life. First off, as we talk about understanding God's will for our lives, Jeremiah 29:11 is a powerful reminder that God has plans for us, plans for our welfare, not for evil, but to give us a future filled with hope. To tap into this divine vision, what would it look like for you to start with 2 actionable steps today? First, what would it look like if you decided to dedicate a specific time each day for prayer and meditation? Even just 5 minutes in the morning can open your heart to receive God's guidance. Imagine asking Him openly what His vision for your life is and listening for the response in the quiet of your heart. Secondly, what would it look like if you kept a journal handy? A journal where you could write down any thoughts, scriptures, or inspirations that came to you during these moments. Over time, you'll begin to see a clearer picture of God's will unfold in your life. Now, the Bible offers wisdom on planning and goal setting. Did you know that? The Bible emphasizes the importance of aligning our plans with God's will. Proverbs 16:3 tells us to commit our work to the Lord and our plans will be established. This isn't a call to be passive, but to actively engage with our dreams and aspirations rooted in a relationship with God. So here's a question relating to how you can apply this today. What would it look like if you identified one goal you have for yourself? It could be related to your career, personal growth, or spiritual life. Then what would it look like if you offered this goal up in prayer, asking for God's guidance and blessing? And then write down the steps that you believe you need to take to achieve this goal, always open to God's redirection. This act of writing not only solidifies your intention, but keeps you accountable to a plan that seeks God's approval above all. When setting God-centered goals, I actually apply the SMART criteria with a spiritual lens. And what this does is it helps me ensure that my goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, but also reflective of God's purpose for me. Today, let's make this practical. Choose one area of your life that you'd like to see growth in. And it could be your spiritual life, it could be a relationship or professional aspiration. But using the SMART framework, write down a goal for this area. But before you finalize it, ask yourself, does this goal honor God? Will it help me grow spiritually and serve others? If you answer yes, you've set a God-centered goal. If you're unsure, spend some more time in prayer and reflection, seeking clarity on how this goal aligns with God's will for your life. Let me share a personal story with you. After I became a Christian, I was eager to change many aspects of my life. I set numerous goals for improving my health, to deepening my knowledge of the Bible. But despite my enthusiasm, I quickly became overwhelmed and discouraged as many of these goals fell by the wayside. And it was a humbling realization that in my zeal, I had set goals based on my desires rather than seeking God's guidance. And it was only when I surrendered my plans and honestly sought what God wanted for my life that I began to see true transformation. My goals became not just tasks to check off, but steps in a journey toward fulfilling God's purpose for me. So if today's topic resonated with you and you're ready to start setting God-centered goals for your life, I encourage you to click the link in the description to coach with me. And together, let's navigate the path to aligning your goals with God's will for your life. If you're not ready to coach at this time, it's okay. I invite you to join our Unstoppable email community. And I want you to remember that it's not about achieving success. It's about living a life that reflects God's love and purpose. Thank you for joining me today on My Success Coach podcast. I hope this episode has inspired you to reflect on your goals and consider how aligning them with God's will can transform not only your life, but the lives of all those around you. Until next time, keep finding your path.